Today, during testimony, we heard, unfortunately, one of the classic phrases from someone who is an abuser. The testimony from Deonte Nash, Cassie's ex stylist and Diddy's ex stylist, and also still a friend of Cassie, told us of an incident where Diddy said, "Look what y'all made me do." So let's get into that. You'll hear in this information that I'm going to share with you all. First thing I'm going to do is give you like what the testimony was in court, and then we'll check how CNN nicely kind of summed up what was said. And this guy you see here is Deonte Nash. He is the person who testified today. He testified to several incidents involving Cassie. But he was definitely a character. He definitely had a lot to say. He made it clear that he was there testifying because he was subpoenaed to testify, and he did not really want to be there. Right? He made that clear. So let's just jump into the testimony that we had from Deonte Nash. So the prosecutor asked, "How many times in person have you witnessed Mr. Combs be violent?" Quite a few. "This is a sealed exhibit. Without saying her name, do you recognize the person we'll call Mia?" He said, "Yes." "What were you and Mia helping Cassie pack for?" "The OVO Fest in Canada." "Who came to the door?" "Puff." He said, "Bitch, didn't I tell you to answer the phone?" Then he dragged her by the hair and hit her. "How hard was he hitting her?" "Very hard. We ran to the room, but Puff pushed it open. He continued to attack Cassie with his fist." "What did you do to try to help Cassie?" "I jumped on Puff's back. He threw me off. Mia, too." Cassie's head hit the bed frame. She was bleeding, but Puff continued hitting her. "Where was Mia?" "Getting towels." "What did Mr. Combs say to you, Mia, and Cassie?" "He said, 'Look what y'all made me do.' He said she'd go to a plastic surgeon." "With who?" D-Rock. He was Puff's security. So that definitely sounds like something that they were accustomed to doing. After that, when did you see her? "The next day. FaceTime or something like that. She had a gash in her eyebrow." So this is yet another incident where we're seeing the abuse of Cassie that is being shared by another witness. Mia, who was mentioned, that is an alias, she will be testifying tomorrow, and they're expecting her to be on the stand through the end of Friday. Right. So I also want to share just how CNN summarized that same testimony because they do add a little bit more context there. So let's just take a look at what it said there, and then we'll wrap this video up. I have been, while I'm getting there, let me just say this. I have been looking more into the charges, looking more into the criteria for the charges, because I want to make sure that I'm understanding, not just from things we all hear on social media or different people just talking about it. I want to better understand what is it that the government has to prove in order to convict Diddy of some of the most serious charges. I've heard some things from some legal experts that are saying that all of this stuff that we're seeing that a lot of us attribute to the domestic violence, a lot of this stuff is something that is building towards that story that is showing force, that is showing coercion, that is showing, they call the Commercial Sex Act, any exchange of money. So the thing with the escorts, that will be considered a commercial act. And now to prove that in any of those, if a person was forced, or if a person was, um, what did they call it? Maybe threatening, or mental or psychological manipulation, or if a person was being blackmailed. So there's a lot of criteria in the federal stipulation that I think, although we see some of this and we're like, we're not sure how that's connecting to some of these charges, it might be. So I just want to do a better job of understanding those things so that my perception of what is really happening, especially from a prosecutor perspective, that I could speak more to that. Again, I want to share with you all the updates that we had from CNN today on this very specific story of when Diddy said, "Look what you made me do. Look what y'all made me do." And I'm pulling that up for you all now. Okay. So, all right, Deonte Nash testified that he watched Diddy attack Cassie in a rage sometime in 2013 or 2014 when he was helping Ventura pack for a trip. And the trip they were going to was the OVO Fest in Canada. That's where they were preparing to go to. Nash said he answered the door when Combs arrived because Ventura was asleep on the couch. Combs came in yelling at Ventura about how she allegedly didn't answer her phone. Now, if you remember from the prior testimony that I read from the script that's coming to us from a journalist inside the court, he walked in and said, "Bitch, what I told you about not answering your phone." Okay. So again, Combs came in yelling at Ventura about how she allegedly didn't answer her phone. Nash said he watched Combs grab her by her hair and pull her off the couch and start hitting her. Nash said he ran into Ventura's bedroom with Ventura and one of Combs's assistants. The assistant has been identified in this trial as quote unquote Mia. This is an alias. Combs pushed the door open as they tried to lock him out. Combs continued to attack Ventura, hitting and kicking her until she hit her head on the bed frame. Nash testified. Nash and Mia both jumped on Combs's back, but he threw them off. Combs finally stopped when he noticed the blood. When he noticed the blood, he just panicked, Nash said. Nash said Combs said to them, "Look what y'all made me do." Nash said he dialed 911, but someone told him to hang up before the call connected. He testified he can't remember who told him to hang up. Combs told them Ventura would go to a plastic surgeon with his security guard. When Nash saw Ventura on a video call the next day, she had a gash on her forehead near her eyebrow and stitches. Look what y'all made me do. Again, as I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, Diddy, Puffy, Puff, Sean, he is going to prison. On which charges and for how long, I don't know. But I am guaranteeing you that he is most definitely going to prison. Look what y'all made me do. Until the next time, bye.